Fuck!
I can't believe it's already been this long. I'd first like to thank the Academy for their support. I wanna thank Roboot, he's always keeping it chill and flipping to free will. Shout out to Bone for always being there with the emotional support. Shout out to Zaz, for keeping it almost militaristically real.
She needs to do that too.
Hello! Oh!
Kana's dealing with, apparently her mic is set to push to talk.
She apparently in the Golden Theater she has to be pushed to talk now.
Really? What the wait, why is it set to that for readers?
Set to push to talk?
Oh, I see lights.
Help me out here!
Oh, you got it.
Well, we told you what to do.
What
the fuck?
I changed it.
Oh,
there we go.
What? It's like what?
People were having issues with permissions, and I had to change shit around. Oopsie doopsies.
Damn,
Nothing, man. I got locked the fuck out.
No, you didn't. You just had to press a button. You didn't get locked out. Shit.
Someone scrunguses and you take.
I always push use put the dock.
I do too. Working.
But you did talk with it, didn't you? You said help me out.
I think orange
is the space button.
Why is it? It's set to space.
Which button? Oh, I think that's the default. Yeah.
Space for me for some godforsaken reason.
Oh, hello everyone.
You just have to make it.
Welcome back to Umineko.
Hi everybody. I just got.
And then I guess we're gonna be doing Umineko, and then once that's done, I'll probably stay up a little bit later to do Deathloop.
Fucking A.
Also thank you to Noir for subscribing again.
You're not gonna.
Oh no, it says I've just kept doing it.
Yeah, you re-upped your sub. It's great.
You're not gonna actually doing a discussion, are you?
What?
You're not gonna play the game.
What?
Oh yeah, we're probably not gonna do a discussion.
Why? Oh.
I mean,
an intro discussion.
I mean, either we won't do a discussion depending on how people feel, or we will do one and then afterwards I'll play Deathloop.
Okay.
Oh, I was talking about a discussion about the last episode. We probably don't have time for that.
Oh,
just bump it in with today's discussion.
I think that's the best idea possible.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking I'm back. Also really sweaty.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm
Just
rating
take a
with a
shower,
party of
Flathead.
one.
Also, do I
Hey, thanks
sound
for always
good? Do I
bringing
sound garbled? Do I
viewers
sound
to the
any other
queue.
way?
You sound fine.
Sound fine.
Sound
You
fine. I
sound
shouldn't
like
be drinking
Umineko.
pop when I'm about to voice act. Fuck it, I have water here.
What?
It's called
Aha,
soda,
good then.
Joshua.
So true, bestie.
You know,
Let
I
me-
was gonna say maybe I'm lucky. Ronove probably won't say that much today, and then I remembered.
You
last
know
time I
you're
said
wrong.
that. I
Yeah,
remembered last time I said
Anytime you
that.
think you're gonna say it, you might be wrong.
Ronove kind of was there a lot previously.
Oh yeah, last time you totally put yourself in the wrong corner. Oh, pardon me.
Damn, right in the mic.
Sorry.
Say what you will about SMT4, but it is a great soundtrack.
I heard mainly positive things about it.
Its story is a little
How
thought that was-
complex are the motives?
It's not a very complex story from what I understand.
Alright, so last time on Umineko, we got twin bunny girls.
The Chiester Royal Corps has
You mean
appeared.
Toho's?
The Pendragon's
Which
Memorial
yes,
Troops.
do you want to take to prom?
And
Boy.
Rudolph and Ava got no wait, it wasn't Ava, fuck. Rudolph
Kyrie.
and Kyrie got mega fucked.
Yep.
I mean, like, Rudolph just kind of fucks in general.
This game has effects and lights.
Have you seen? Have you heard what Kyrie said? He fucked 2 women and impregnated both.
Is the audio getting
What?
through? I can't tell.
We're not.
No, I mean, like, can you
It's
look at
not.
the
On
stream?
Twitch stream.
Okay, I had a feeling that was
It
gonna
does not
fucking
seem to
happen.
be on the Twitch stream now.
That's fucking weird. Why does it keep doing this to me?
Now it is.
It is?
I just heard Noir talk.
No, but like, is the game
heard
audio
myself.
getting through?
I can't hear the music.
Alright, that's what I was afraid of. Give me a moment.
No
That's
game
That's
audio.
the problem.
That's the problem. What the fuck is up? Hold on a second. So,
Hey,
Dang it, Noir!
crap.
Do you have to go and remind me about the piss tetrahedron?
I thought that was
how are you going to
I
restate
know
the peace
absolutely
tetrahedron?
zero about the context.
I do. I can inform you everything about
There
the
we go.
context of
That was the
this
problem.
region.
I forgot AC used his mod abuse powers to fucking rename the channel we're in as Dust Live in general.
It was originally Das Poop and Farten, but apparently people were not big fans of Das Poop and Farten.
Also, when I specifically said that SMT4 story is back, I mean Apocalypse. SMT4's is fine.
What's wrong
It's
with
okay.
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse was more Persona.
than SMT,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yo, major Persona vibes?
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm going to
Distinct
fucking
Persona
smack
vibes.
you.
Like, it should just
Do
call
it,
it.
Daddy.
They should have called it SMT. Shut up, Randy. Anyway, they should have called it SMT
Interesting.
if Apocalypse.
Hey Beatrice, you were talking.
Take a quick drink.
There's shit in my laptop. There's shit in my my keyboard. I'm sorry.
Did you put a notification out on Twitter that we started?
Sure did.
And why did you put shit on your keyboard? That sounds like a bad idea.
I don't mean like actual shit, Noir. Come on. Don't do this to me.
Your shit. Got him.
Don't you do it. Also, you could probably re-up your Prime subs if you want to.
Yeah.
I saw what you liked on Twitter, AC.
What? What?
I took a screenshot at the time.
But now we will both drown. Lol, said the scorpion. Lamau, said the scorpion.
Oh, okay, there we go. Who's here? Who joined?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm good.
Oh,
Simba.
Sim's here. Hey. Alright, so whenever you are ready, Khan. Also, Boney, you good and ready to go?
No, I'm fine.
Alright, cool, just making sure.
Post in live journal.
Wait. Have you already forgotten what I've told you?
Oh, it's you, Predecessor-sama.
I'll have to turn you up a little bit, Con. Here we go.
Do you have any complaints?
Of course I do! You're doing whatever you please, aren't you? Why haven't you followed my directions?
What's wrong with doing as I please, Predecessor-sama? Anyway, I don't plan on deviating from the rules of the ceremony in the slightest. I'll definitely clean those 2 corpses up later and drive stakes into their forehead and chest. No harm, no foul.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, that is not the problem. You act so undignified and cruel. Some people might take it badly.
You mean your opponent in that game? The one you're supposedly fighting against somewhere? In some weird ethereal metaverse? Ronove told me.
Damn that blabbermouth. Well, to be perfectly honest, that's how it is. If you go a little too far, that person will object, you see?
Why can't this person just complain to me directly instead of making you take a message? That coward.
Well, this is a resident of a different world from yours. There's no choice but to use me as an intermediary. Well, that's beside the point, but...
Which means that this person couldn't interact with me even if they wanted to. And if I can't interact with them, even if I want to either. Simply put, this is a completely unrelated person from a world that distant, right?
You good?
Fuck.
Sorry, that's the sparkling ice and water and left lemonade flavor, and then some of the citrus gets stuck in my throat. Ooey gooey.
Damn, alright.
On drugs.
No, it's just sparkling ice water.
All I wanted was a Pepsi!
Nope.
Like, no, you're on drugs.
On drugs, committing genocide.
Mr. Duckman, we say it's our civic duty to administer a urine test.
What?
I do really good impressions of Fluffy and Uranus from.
Also, hey,
Duckman.
Ramen, how's it going? Good to have you.
Yeah, that's There you go.
Thank you, Noir. You are very much on point with that.
Whenever
Anyways,
you're
back
ready.
to it.
We're gonna keep on going now?
Yeah.
Con?
You keep going.
Indeed. For example, perhaps you say these worlds are very like close parallels. The distance between them is quite small, but because the lines are parallel, they will never cross. For now, that should be a convenient way for you to view that world.
They never cross. Which means that world has nothing to do with me. If you're speaking for that person when you tell them to show restraint, please pass this message on to them.
To them? What should I say?
Come at me, Scrub Lord, I'm ripped.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun. Thank you, Dwart. Okay, that's the last time, I swear. It's none of your business, so disappear, you old hag. If only you just give up and die.
Now you gotta do like the fucking, you know, she makes her voice real deep whenever she says give up and die.
Yeah, make it deep.
If only you just give up and die.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Shinjaeba!
Shinjaeba! So she goes, Shinjaeba!
Shinjaeba!
What?
Oh.
Got it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Since I was a friend of yours, I'd assume she'd be a woman. By old hag, I definitely not talking about you, Predecessor Sama, so please don't get mad at me.
When she spoke, the witch was looking straight into Beato's eyes. Anyone present wouldn't be able to tell what she had meant by it.
Predecessor Sama. There's something I find really strange. Why do you have to play a game with someone from another world? Then have him accept that you're a witch.
Well, as to that, it's because making all humans accept the existence of witches is a prerequisite of perfect control. There was a single holdout who simply wouldn't accept me as a witch.
Why would you need the approval of a human? Witches are witches and can use magic, so why should it be acknowledged by humans?
Well, like I said earlier, magic is...
I am a witch. I can use magic without anyone's approval in particular, so what's your point? Tick-tock, old hag.
in this world, right? However, since that person won't accept it, how should I explain it?
I don't need you to. After all, this isn't all about a different world that never crosses this one. At all. In other words, that world might as well not exist. You fighting a game in another world is absolutely no different from you telling me stuff from your imagination. I'll say it again. It has nothing to do with me. And I am already a witch. Predecessor Sama. Somehow or another, it seems you can't become a witch as long as this person doesn't acknowledge you, but I'm different. Even though no one has acknowledged me, I'm an excellent witch already. Wouldn't you agree? Since you are my predecessor, I will formally pay you respect. But that's out of kindness, not out of duty. I won't ask for your advice anymore. Because I clearly know what I should do and how I should play from now on. So I will carry out the murder of 13 people as a final act of respect for you. However, there is absolutely no reason for you to interfere with the methods I use. Or what I do afterwards. Therefore, I'll be counting on you in that regard.
At a glance, those words seemed obedient. They contained within them a clear parting of ways. She was no longer under Beato's care in any way. That's why she was clearly saying nothing more than "don't get in the way of my fun." Beato understood that and was dejected, realizing that no matter how she explained it, she wouldn't be able to make the witch understand.
I see. And it is no longer my problem. Go and learn with your own body how magic ceases to exist when you lose your respect for it.
I wish you'd tell me where the respect was. In that carefree rampage of yours up until now.
After hearing that, Beato could not respond, because she remembered hearing exactly the same thing from her teacher.
Okay, now. The Chester sisters?
It's the Chester sisters, yeah.
Chester sisters? Say off my predecessor on her way back.
Princess Osama, please leave this to us. Or please leave this place.
If we don't, we'll be scolded.
Throughout her body, Beato felt something unseeable from the Chester sisters, which can only be described as an oppressive sensation. Most likely they were initiating firing calculations, and it was an action much like taking out a gun and cocking it. Even Beato could not escape from the Chester sisters' attack without any preparation. In the past, she had placed her greatest trust in them, so she knew how terrifying they were down into her very soul.
Princess
No,
Summer.
she said.
You gotta let me say. Princess Summer, if you would retire, I would not recommend damaging Beatrice Summer's mood any further. Fuck me. Princess Summer.
I understand. I shall leave for now. I'll watch over the end you eventually reach at my leisure.
It was almost infinitely close to a parting shot. So after Beato vanished, the witch and her furniture doubled over, laughing.
Well, I do understand. The endless power is fun. The joy of freely toying with an extreme limited life cannot be explained to those who have not tasted it. I understand that feeling of being possessed with a pleasure similar to drug.
It must have been quite fun. Judging by your antics in the past.
Are you saying it's just like when you tried to admonish me in the past over and over and I did not listen?
Why have you started trying to scold that child for her actions?
Well...
There's a single large difference between you and that child. That child may already be a witch. Of course, you are also a witch. At least in the world on top of the game board. However, to be acknowledged as a witch in the world outside the game board, you need to have Battler-kun, your opponent in this game, acknowledge you. You must have understood that when you started the game.
that if I could show off a whirlwind of proof that I am a witch, blow away his desire to deny me, and make him surrender, you would acknowledge me as a witch. You all went my way last time, so I thought it was just a breath away.
It's actually the opposite. Battler-kun was disgusted by your brutality. He did not step up to the plate as a player because he acknowledged you as a worthy opponent. It was based on a strong animosity, his resolve to completely deny the existence of a brutal witch. In your foolishness, you probably felt that Battler-kun's acceptance of his role as your opponent was a first step toward making him acknowledge you as a witch. However, it was actually the opposite. Battler-kun challenged you in this game because he was absolutely determined not to acknowledge you. No matter how hard the thoughtless north wind blows, the traveler only wears his cloak even tighter. You were committing a huge error from the very beginning. This game is not torture to make Battler-kun surrender. It is a test in which you must try to make Battler-kun accept you.
I vaguely noticed that.
The last game was a tough one for Battler. But, as it seems you've already noticed, this game is a tough one for you.
What should I do from now on?
Think about it for yourself. Fortunately, you have already given up your pieces on the game board to the new witch. You should have plenty of time to reflect upon your own self.
But Battler's already a massive hostility to me. He won't accept witches, so he won't accept me. In that case, what can I do to make him accept me? Are you saying that if North Wind doesn't work, then I should shine on him as the sun from now on? Me, after all this time?
It's October now. The Halloween season. It's the month of rebirth, when the sun dies and is revived again. When the sun is weak right after reviving, it may not reach far through the cold winter winds. However, it slowly grows, and is eventually able to hail the coming of spring. At that time, the traveler may even fold up his cloak.
Saying that I've been mistaken.
The beautiful hall of the Ashurmi mansion was covered with a golden sparkle like gold leaf, and stained deep red with thick spurts of blood. The number of deaths given to Rudolph and Kyrie had long surpassed anything you could count on both of your fingers and your toes. The witch was breathing so hard her shoulders shook, but it wasn't because she was tired. You just couldn't hide her ragged breaths caused by her still uncontainable excitement.
How fun it is to do as I will with people's lives and death. With the power of the Endless Witch, the endless everything I paint with my mind becomes reality. No matter how sloppily I mash them. I can revive them, turning them to normal with just a snap of my fingers. Because in the end, I just have to restore the corpses and follow the epitaph as an afterthought. Hey, you guys. Yeah, you guys. Have you ever sliced a stuffed animal's stomach open?
Never, Nihi. What about you, 45?
No. I've never done it. My apologies.
That's understandable. Normally you wouldn't. Especially not if it was a stuffed animal you liked. But I've always thought about it. I always thought about peeking in. And seeing what was packed inside this lovely stuffed animal I love.
If you cut it and look inside, your curiosity might be quelled. The stuffed animal will be broken. So, even though you want to see it, you can't. You understand that feeling, right?
The power of the Endless Witch can cruelly... Blech. Ugh, I'm losing my mind over here. The power of the Endless Witch can truly grant that wish. As I am now, I can slice the stuffed animal all I want. And yet, with a bit of magic, I can return it to normal and revive it. In other words, it means I've broken all limitations in this world. As I am now, I don't have to hesitate or give up an idea or anything. That joy. There's probably no one who can understand it. No one other than me. The Golden Witch!
As the witch let out a mad war cry, she revived Rudolph and Kyrie again. And faster than they could realize it, she killed them right away. And she made it known that something other than cotton was stuffed inside those two.
What did Ava?
Huh? Oh.
You there?
Don, you there?
Cutting out, Kaneko.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, I guess my thing
That was weird.
doing a weird thing again. Huh? Oh, it's you. How long have you been there?
In that gruesome hall, Hideyoshi appeared with his gun readied. The witch had sealed the mansion with a barrier, so Hideyoshi had nowhere to run. He'd probably picked up Rudolph Curie's gun and come back. The gun, which should have been something to be feared, was apparently no longer an object she took seriously, now that she was overflowing with magical power. Her bold expression didn't flinch in the slightest.
Why did you have to kill Rosa and Maria-chan? And Rudolph Gun and Kyrie-san?
Huh. I'm the head of the Ishiramiya family, the Witch of Rokenjima. Everything that occurs on this island is all up to me. Whether they happen to be alive or dead at any particular moment in time is meaningless to me.
Hideyoshi was struck speechless by that all-too callous response from the witch. I believe this is Hideyoshi talking.
You went mad after finding Father's gold. Oh, just how high must that gold have been piled? I can't even imagine it. Must have been enough to steal away your sanity. But if there was that much gold, why didn't you think of graciously splitting it up?
You misunderstand. All of that gold belongs to the Golden Witch. No one is qualified to touch it, except me.
What are you? Don't tell me you're that thing Eva told me about long ago. The witch Eva went blah blah blah. Or when she was young.
That's right. I am the me from my years as a girl who's been living in the heart of your wife, Ushirimiya Eva, this whole time. And I'm a witch. Eva became an adult by forgetting me, so she can't use magic.
All kids get their head filled with innocent but cruel ideas sometime. When I was young, I'd sometimes go around stepping on ants and pulling the wings off dragonflies.
Jesus fuck.
However, I learned the importance of life and graduated from that cruel childhood age. Right now, you really are a child. The personality that I know Eva graduated from. That personality isn't Eva. It's a completely different human.
That's right. I am not Ushirimiya Eva. I'm the Golden Witch, Beatrice. It's so fun, not being bound by any limitations, and the pleasure of being able to do as I will with life and death is truly wonderful. I don't have to apologize for breaking a goldfish bowl. And I can tear stuffed animals up as much as I want.
There was a crisp sound of Hideyoshi slapping the witch's face.
Oh shit!
Looking at the hall stained deep red with fresh blood, he should have been able to imagine just how terrible the witch was. But without fear, without even hesitating, Hideyoshi had walked determinedly up to her and hit her on the cheek.
You dolt! Don't act like you're cruel. Not when you're really a coward and a weakling. I'll correct that evil nature of yours again if I have to.
Wait, again?
You fool! Fool!
Ow! Ow! Hey!
Still you, Bone.
Still me. You're a woman who understands how important, how fragile a life is, aren't you? I'll make you remember. What are you calling a witch, you stupid fool? You're my wife. Share me, Ava. If anything, you're the witch. If anything, you're a witch of the kitchen who can always make the perfect snacks out of the refrigerator leftovers in a flash. What's up in your eyes, you fool?
Didn't I just tell you that I'm not Ushiromiya Ava?
You stupid fool. You.
As tears dripped down his face, Hideyoshi kept hitting the witch's head. He wasn't even pointing the gun at her anymore. Therefore, that sound of gunfire couldn't have come from the gun Hideyoshi was holding. The gun which had fallen into the corner near Rudolph's corpse was floating in the air, and smoke lingered near the barrel. And the bullet? A red stain was slowly spreading across the chest section of Hideyoshi's vest. Even though his back was facing the barrel of a gun, the bullet had driven through Hideyoshi's chest.
Like I said, I'm not Ava. What a stupid, annoying man. You're a pain, so I'll switch the sacrifice of the sixth twilight to you. If only you'd just hidden under some bed shaking or something, I planned on letting you go. But no, you went to all the trouble of coming back. You really are a stupid man.
There was a dull sound as Hideyoshi fell to the floor. Even though death would have allowed him to escape from that pain, he resisted until the last second. And staring straight into the witch's eyes, he passed away.
Hideyoshi, no!
Because he had died without closing his eyes. The witch didn't realize that he was dead for a short while,
Hideyoshi, no!
and remained pinned by that gaze.
Should make this one a new toy and play? Nee?
At those words, the witch finally realized that Hideyoshi was dead.
Yeah. Right. What'll we do?
The Chiester sisters waited for instructions. On the inside, they imagined the sorts of even more brutal orders their master might give. But the expression that rose to the witch's face looked as though she'd gotten over her excitement. Looked down at Hideyoshi's face, which still had tears dripping down through it.
It's such a killjoy, and it's all this guy's fault. I'm done. Ronove, are you there?
Yes, right here.
Perfect timing. Take care of the cleanup. I'll bet the predecessor Sama makes a fuss over this one. Please make it clean enough for that old hag to accept. I guess I'll follow the rules of the ceremony out of a sense of obligation to my predecessor Sama. Treat these corpses as the 4 through 6 twilights. Lucifer, it's your turn.
Lucifer applied right here.
dig into these 3 corpses and gouge them.
Into corpses?
That's right. Got a problem with that?
No.
Didn't think so.
The 7 Sisters of Purgatory had their own sort of pride. It was the pride of a hunter, the pride of gouging prey that they had brought down themselves. However, being told to gouge a corpse that someone else had brought down ran contrary to that sentiment. Of course, the witch didn't mean it that way, but for the 7 Sisters it was horribly humiliating. However, they had already screwed this up, with 2 of the sisters defeated, so they had no right to question her. Only Ronave appreciated this, and he rested his hand on her shoulder in understanding.
This is an order from Beatrice-sama. Lucifer, carry these 3 and dispose of them in accordance with the etiquette of the ceremony.
Hello? Thank you, Ramen!
Oh, thanks, Ramen.
Nice.
Oh, what do you get?
He subscribed.
Oh, thanks, Ramen. You're the best.
Thank you, Ramen.
Then, when you are done, lend me a hand with the cleanup. Certainly.
The witch looked down upon Hideyoshi's corpse, as though implying that the now delicate atmosphere was all Hideyoshi's fault.
Stupid man. And you didn't even have to die.
Dear. Dear, where are you? You're there, right? Answer me.
The crash of a thunderbolt woke Ava from her nightmare. If Hideyoshi had been gripping her hand at that time, her fearful heart would probably have been instantly healed. However, Hideyoshi, who had supposedly sworn that he wouldn't leave even for a moment, was nowhere to be seen in the room.
Dear, answer me. Dear. Ah!
Okay.
Oh,
Ugh.
damn.
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 Big sad. Big man
sad.
go die.
Damn.
Big
I
man
will
ding.
say that the what is it, the you're the witch of the kitchen. I felt like maybe that line is delivered a little bit better in the manga because it shows
So,
the flashback.
it does not sound great in English.
Yeah.
No,
You
it-
are
it
the
was
witch of the kitchen.
not, but, dude, Hideyoshi's got some fucking balls of steel.
Yeah, his heart was in the right place. He said she's a damn good cook.
Yeah, but now his heart's over there on the wall.
It's
Yeah.
just better because like in the manga they show like a flashback of like Ava actually giving him a nice treat.
You know,
Oh
it's-
man,
it's
that
a
manga
nice
panel
treat.
is sad.
Yeah, he's clearly bawling his eyes out during that entire exchange.
Mhm.
And then
He's so
she just
sad.
ups and shoots him.
I would try to deliver it more emotionally, but I don't want to weird out the roommate.
Hideyoshi, no!
Although he does know I do this.
You're a good man, Hideyoshi.
Tell him it's important for Hideyoshi.
Do it for Hideyoshi.
He'll know.
Oh, Hideyoshi's in the ground. Well, he's not in the ground. He's dead. He's like a puddle right now.
He's on the floor.
He's on the floor. He's a puddle of blood and meat
And tears.
and tears.
30 minutes had already passed since Rudolph's group had left the guest house. By any measure, their return was too late, and Kraus and Natsuhi, who waited by the entrance, were reaching the limits of their patience. The chain was set on the door. There was a precaution in the event that Rudolph's group was attacked and the master key stolen from them. For that reason, they needed to wait by the entrance like this for the others to return.
They really are too late. Don't you think something might have happened to them?
Indeed.
Kraus glanced between his watch and the door, struggling to keep his composure.
If something happened to prevent them from returning.
A terrible thought. But it seems we should ready ourselves for that possibility. So, it really was too reckless after all.
That is what I said. Why did they go outside when they knew this was dangerous? How foolish. Why go outside even though Roda-san had just been attacked?
Nothing will come of saying that now. At any rate, there are now 3 adults in the guest house. Me, you, and Ava, who's asleep with a high fever.
At that time, the forceful sound of a door being opened came from the hallway, and they heard Ava's panicked voice. That voice kept calling out Hideyoshi's name. It seemed as though she had a bad dream or something due to her fever, and was calling for her husband.
Ava-san, what is it? Are you okay? Where is my husband? My husband isn't here. Where is he? Even though he promised that he'd stay with me the whole time. Even though he promised that he'd grasp my hand the whole time. Where is he?
Kraus was struck dumb by this attitude of hers, which she had never shown in front of him before. But Natsuhi understood her feelings.
Calm down. Hideyoshi-san is with Ruto-san and Kirie-san, and they're outside right now. Outside? Why? Why did he go outside after he promised he'd stay with me the whole time? You mustn't go outside. The witch is outside. You mustn't go. You'll be killed.
Ava, calm yourself. Hideyoshi-san returned to the mansion with Rudolph and Kirie-san.
Why did he have to go to the mansion? Why did he go outside, even though it's safe here? Why did he go back to the mansion?
They went to get enough food to last until tomorrow. Hideyoshi-san was worried about your health and said that partly was why he wanted to go.
Will they come back? When will they come back? Don't go outside. Don't go to the rose garden. Don't go to the mansion. The witch is there. The golden witch is walking about. She's walking about. If she finds you, you'll be killed. You'll definitely be killed. Please, believe me. Tell me, when will my husband come back? They left here 30 minutes ago. We are waiting for their return. Th- 30 minutes ago?! Isn't that strange? Why would it take so much time for them to go to the mansion to get food and come back? And why are you two just standing around here? We have to go get them. We have to hurry to where they are.
Ava probably had quite a nightmare. And because it continued even after she woke up, she could no longer hide her panic. Natsuhi tried calming her down, but all it did was make Ava's emotions explode even more. Maybe they heard that disturbance. Battler and the kids, who had supposedly been on the second floor, were peeking their face through the crack of the lobby door. Kraus, Natsuhi, Ava. And Battler, George, Jessica, and Nandra. Everyone in the guest house had gathered by the entrance, and understood the current situation.
I agree with Mother. We should go to check on Father and the rest.
Yeah, that's right. It's impossible that their load is too heavy and they're having trouble carrying it. They should welcome some extra hands.
This happened right after Rosa's son was attacked. This may have been a secondary disaster connected to it. We should act with caution here and...
Don't be a fool, Nanjo. What do you mean, caution? Are you saying we should let my husband die, even though he might be begging for help? I'm going to look, and the cowards can stay here.
Looking agitated, Ava raised her gun. Judging by her face, it would be useless for anyone to try and stop her. George, who realized that first, raised his head.
I'll go as well. You will too, right, Ballergun? The more people, the better.
Sure. On Ava, we're coming in if you tell us not to.
I'm coming too. I can't be the only one to hide in a safe place.
Jessica, you must not go outside. Stay here with me. Got it?
So they were implying those three had already been killed anyway, so going outside would be pointless. Natsuhi realized that Ava felt like her heart had been gouged out, because she spoke out strongly as Jessica's mother.
You're right. That should be fine. Let's have Nissan's family keep an eye on the guest house. This is a problem for my family and Battler Kunz. And I wonder if Dr. Nanja would mind coming too. Just in case. Oh, shit!
In the hall of the mansion, Battler, Ava, George, and Nanjo found the corpses of Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi.
Hold on, I'm fucking... Okay, wait. The 4 through 6 twilights. And the corpses were pierced through the forehead, chest, and stomach with those demon stakes.
Yes. The demon stakes were buried into them, one in Rudolph's forehead, one in Hideyoshi's chest, and one in Kyrie's stomach. The disorder of the clothing on all three suggests that they were fighting or running away. Since the three corpses were not found right next to each other, it is hypothesized that after coming into contact with the culprit, they attempted some form of resistance.
Finally, a murder that isn't in a closed room.
And they had stakes in the forehead, chest, and stomach. Horrible. Just like usual. Even though Renove knew it would be superfluous, he contemplated telling Battler the truth. Normally the witch would have killed him in a much more horrible way. The corpse had been left in the manor only because Beato had suggested to the witch that she show restraint. The new witch, thinking that it would fit well enough as long as she gouged them with sticks, probably just stuck a stake into a lump of meat that wasn't even shaped like a human. Rosa and Maria's corpses are a particularly striking example. They'd been killed as the Golden Witch had wished. Just how gruesome would the corpses have been? Beato would change that into the still better kind of killing Battler had mentioned earlier. Wanting to have Beato's small bit of thoughtfulness appreciated, he thought of telling Battler about this. But judging by Battler's eyes, that might do more harm than good. To humans, the gap between being alive and being dead is very large. Something that should given them better deaths might have made it possible for a demon to understand her feelings and pardon her. But there is no way a human would be so accepting. Understanding this, Runaway remained silent despite knowing of Beato's modest efforts. Just like usual, let's start by checking whether the corpses are dead. Runaway, please declare it in red. Hey, can you hear me? Please declare it in red. Repeat it. Rudolph, Curia, and Hideyoshi are dead.
My apologies. Allow me to decline from repeating that.
The hell? What are you planning all of a sudden? By now, proclaiming the victims were dead in red was almost a given in this battle. Choosing to do that was almost like losing by default. When Runaway refused as part of his first move, Battler was dumbfounded.
My apologies. As of this moment, I relinquish my position as Milady's representative. Accordingly, I cannot repeat that in red. The only one qualified to repeat it is Milady.
His point is a valid one. Ronave is only a representative for Beato's side. If he steps down from that position, and if you will not accept Beato as an opponent, a new representative must be named.
No new representative exists. Please, Battler-sama.
Ow.
Please accept Milady as your game partner once more.
Sorry. But that's advice I can't listen to.
Oh my god, just shut up and swallow your damn pride.
I definitely won't accept that unpleasant, cruel bastard as my opponent.
I don't think it's his pride. I think it's his morals.
My refusal to accept her is why I can't step down from this game.
As to her being unpleasant, I apologize in Milady's stead. Allow me to plead that Milady will not undertake such unpleasant acts again.
I wonder about that.
Battler-kun, I also want to apologize as that child's teacher. I'll give that child a good talking to, so please offer your forgiveness, just this once.
Hey, enough of that. You make it sound like I'm the bad guy. No matter how much you guys apologize, it won't reach my ears. If Beato can say that from her own lips, well, I might listen to her.
Understood. If that is your only condition for acknowledging your opponent again, let us have that child apologize. Ronave, call for that child. Will that be alright, Battler-kun?
Sheesh. Do whatever you want. Still, don't expect me to forgive her. Go get that irritating witch.
You have my thanks, Battler-sama. I shall summon her here. Milady, Battler-sama is calling for you.
After a few heartbeats, gold butterflies gathered together in midair and created Beato's form. Much more docile appearance than the one that she'd made before.
Did you call Ronave?
I believe you heard. Is there something you have to say? from your own lips?
Looked as though Beato shrunk slowly under Battler's cold gaze. Several times Beato made an effort to get the words out of her mouth, but that didn't work so well. It was as awkward as someone trying to light a match during a freezing winter with icy hands. Even as she did that, the game board was advancing. In the hall, they just found the corpses of the new victims that had broken down crying. Dad! Kyrie-san! Oh!
Dear.
Mother, hang in there. Even for me, it's so crushing, so sad.
They probably died instantly. I'm sure that even if we had arrived immediately after they fell, it would have been too late.
No, that's wrong. They were definitely alive. His chest was stabbed with something like this. My husband must have died in extreme pain. If we had come faster, surely they would have been saved. They would definitely have been saved. Oh.
It must be tough. For you too, Battler. But stay strong.
I'm okay. It's okay, Aniki. Just let me cry just a little bit longer. I've got it the best. I should be the least sad. So if you just let me cry a little longer, I'll be fine.
That isn't true. I can understand how much it must have hurt your heart to have lost both parents. I still have Mother. That's a much better than what you're going through right now, Battler.
Dude, what the fuck? It's not a contest.
No, that's wrong. It's gotta be toughest for you, George Aniki. I understand, Aniki. In this group, you're the saddest. And the one who has it the toughest. I understand that. So I can't keep on sobbing like this. Ah!
Why do you say it's toughest for me?
To me, Dad and Kyrie-san, people I'd eventually split up with when I would grow up and become independent. As their parents, it was fated that they'd die before their kids. It just happened a little early, that's all. But it's different for you, Aniki. You didn't just lose your parents who would have parted ways with you eventually. You lost Shannon-chan. Something because you should have spent the rest of your life with. You can't value human lives differently. Whether it's a baby or an old person, they should all be respected the same. Still, the more life that person has ahead of them. The longer the future you're building together is, the sadder the fact of their death is. Aniki, you were engaged to Shannon-chan, right? You promised that you'd build a life and home together in the future, right? Compared to how huge that future was. Compared to how huge that happiness was. Stuff like my pain doesn't even come close. So you should be allowed to cry much, much more, Aniki. And yet, just because you're like a big brother or us cousins, you force yourself to act like you're so calm. Yeah, what's up, man?
Sorry, is this, am I supposed to record this promotional code you
is it for Tales of Arise?
Promotional code?
Then, yeah.
Or you just need a screenshot of the code.
Just E4 the email to me.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, yay! My fucking pre-ordered DLC for Tales of Arise finally got delivered. Like 3 days after the game came out.
You see, this is Orange Boy. That was Orange Dad.
Yeah, that was my orange father.
Oh.
Hello.
He cannot hear you, unfortunately.
I think you and Crimson are the only ones that don't use headphones.
What do you mean? I use headphones.
Yeah, I'm saying I think Con and Crimson are the only ones that don't use headphones out of this group.
That's true, actually.
Anyways, go ahead, George.
A little bit of it. Stop it, Valorcon.
Joe's trying to make a calm smile. But already, he couldn't stop a single hot tear from leaving a streak down his face.
There's no way I wouldn't be sad, right? Together with Shannon, I painted a picture of many futures in my mind. We talked of our dreams that couldn't all come true, even if we lived 100 years. Of all those dreams, even the first one, having her move into my family register, could not be granted. So there's no way I wouldn't be sad, right?
Compared to that, like I said, I have no right to cry anymore. When even you're struggling to hold it in, I have no right to shed any more tears.
We're the same. We both feel the same sadness from losing those close to us. There's no rule that says you can't shed any more tears than me, Battlergun. And for me too, there's no rule that says I have to hold back my tears any longer, is there?
Aniki! Aniki! Ah!
Shannon, the one who I shared my dreams of the future, is dead. Father's dead too. It's so sad. So sad. Ah!
As Battler and George hugged each other tightly, they cried a waterfall of tears over each other's shoulders for the people who had been so precious to them. Do you understand why I said that George Aniki has it the toughest?
I was listening, so I understand. Your sadness is proportional to the length of time you would have been able to spend with that person afterwards.
Of course, you can't calculate it just like that, though. We humans aren't like you witches. From the time we received life to the moment we die, we live within the limited period as strongly as we can manage. I can't forgive anyone who makes light of that. And I definitely can't forgive anyone who sneers at people and toys with them. A person like you, whose very concept of death is all screwed up, probably can't understand that either. I'm not just mad because of the length of time they would have lived afterwards. It's sneering at the lives of people living with all they've got. That's what I can't forgive the most. George Aniki lived his life by recklessly doing his best. Must have approached this day with a grim resolve to marry Shannon out of the challenge. It's completely different from me, so I was happy just to be able to meet my cousins after a long while.
But still...
Beato. For now, stay silent and listen.
In a way, I understand your point. You can say you need to continue murdering according to the epitaph for your own resurrection. So considering your circumstances, I can just barely bring myself to understand your murders. Because to you, it's not a necessary course of action. That means all necessary actions you take beyond that are due to your meaningless and brutal tastes. In other words, if killing the sick people for the first trial was a necessary action for you, then all that show of crushing their faces and splitting their stomachs and stuffing them full of sweets was completely unnecessary, and caused by nothing more than your brutal hobby. That's an aspect of you that I definitely cannot forgive.
Indeed.
When you saw Aunt Rosa getting repeatedly killed in that horrible way, you apparently said something like,
If they're gonna be brought back to life in the end anyway, it doesn't matter how they're killed. I heard that from Virgilia.
That was... Well...
The idea that you can kill them as many times as you want, as long as you bring them back to life in the end. Isn't that a completely unnecessary action? With no purpose other than to toy around with someone's life. If you're gonna kill, do it instantly! Don't toy with them! If you won't kill them, then don't bully them! You're taking advantage of the fact that you can do it as you will with people's lives, and you've forgotten the sanctity of life. So I can't accept or acknowledge you. I definitely can't accept you as my opponent. A person who doesn't know the value of a life, or the sadness felt when lives are lost.
That is why the endless magic is known as a black art. The Endless Witch has no concept of limitations. She has no concept of the limitations and losses caused by breaking and killing. For that reason, Endless Witches sometimes start playing by jumping over the gap between life and death. Like it's a game. That is a very, very frightening thing. So as an endless witch, and by my own choosing, I never reached your level.
It was something that Virgilia had been trying to tell Beato for a long time. But Beato had been too young to obediently listen to those words. She had been too wild. She had been possessed by that detestable pleasure.
I have been told not to break vases. But that's why I wanted to break them. Then I gained the aimless magic. When I knew that I could fix them back to normal no matter how badly I broke them, I was surprised at how fun it could be to break a vase.
That is what's known as the forbidden honey. People are not captivated by what's inside. They are captivated by the sealed lock. It is truly regrettable.
I want to ask you, Virgilia. Why does this thing called the Endless Magic exist? For what purpose does it exist in this world?
It is not limited to the endless magic. All magic exists to bring happiness to the human world. After everything that has happened, it may be difficult for you to believe, Battler Coon, but in order to bring blessings to the human world, we witches are supposed to become bridges between humans and non-humans, and that is why we train so hard.
How does reviving the dead and torturing them to death over and over again help the human world?
When a vase that was an important memento is broken, if by fixing it everyone will regain their smiles, I would repair it with magic as many times as necessary. However, I would not be fixing it in order to break it again. I would be reviving it to give humans happiness.
In that case, Beato, you fail as an endless witch.
Indeed.
There's this thing I've been vaguely thinking about. Why do I keep playing this strange game against you? Maybe this game isn't about making me surrender. It's a test for you to be accepted as an endless witch, in the truest sense.
I don't know about that. The reason I proposed this game to you was simply as a way to kill time. There was no ulterior motive at work.
Just now I heard the definition of a witch from Virgilia. By the definition, you, Beato, are not even a witch. You're an apprentice who's still in training, and who misunderstands her own power. It's supposed to be a fight between a witch and a human. If you aren't a witch, then you aren't qualified to be my opponent. Understand?
You say I'm still only an apprentice. Then when will I be accepted as your opponent once again? When can we resume this game?
Who knows? At the very least, it isn't now. When you fully understand what I've said and become a real witch, I'll probably accept you as my opponent in this game once more.
I can't understand you think so abstractly like that. Clearly tell me what I should do to earn your forgiveness.
No. I've said enough. You think about the rest. That's all I wanted to say. If you can't figure it out, try talking with Virgilia and Ronove. A brat like you should start off by listening to what the adults say. Virgilia! Suspend the game for now. Now that Ronove has stepped down as the representative, all we can do is wait for Beato to gain the qualifications of a proper opponent.
Understood. Until Beato has been acknowledged as having earned those qualifications, the game will proceed without an opponent.
Wait, what?
Is that alright with you too, Beato?
I have no objection. I want time and a place where I can think at a leisurely pace. May I move my seat for that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well then, see you later.
Wait. Don't make that dejected face.
Sorry about that. Letting everything inside my heart show up on my face is part of my personality. I cannot deceive.
Maybe there's still some hope for you. Let me promise you one thing. In this game with you, I might win and I might lose. If you don't come back, it might be my victory by default. At that point, Battler stopped talking for a second. Then he spoke forcefully. However, I definitely won't be the one to step down. I definitely won't give you a victory by default. I'll keep on waiting here for you to sit there again as my worthy opponent.
Bellissima.
Thank you. Battler. I will definitely come back and be accepted by you.
After showing a hopeful smile for a very short while, Beato vanished. After seeing her expression as she left, Battler was absolutely convinced that her face could tell no lies. The 7 survivors returned to the guest house once again. But now it's clear that those who were outside would not return alive. Ralph's group had gone out with 2 guns and a master key, but those had been lost. It's already clear that those had been stolen by the culprit. Because the shutters were closed on the windows, they couldn't be opened even if the culprit had a master key. The front and back doors that led out to the outside were all sealed by chains, and they were further blocked with sofas and tables. Even if the culprit decided to break into through violent means, it wouldn't be easy for them.
At this point, the typhoon may actually be fortunate. If it were clear outside, it might have been possible for them to set fire to the guest house.
If there wasn't a typhoon in the...
Con, your mic's shitting itself.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Okay, can you hear me now?
You're good.
Okay.
If there wasn't a typhoon in the first place, the boat would have arrived before noon. That's not much of a silver lining. Ava-san, how do you feel? Please, try to take it easy. Thank you. I still feel like I have a fever, but this is no time to complain about that. For the children's sake as well, this is no time to be bedridden.
After crying so much in front of Hideyoshi's corpse, Eva felt a strong self-awareness of her position as a mother, and her expression conveyed a strong will. In actual fact, her fever still hadn't gone down, and she was aware of that. If she didn't keep a stronghold on herself, she felt as though the fever would make her mind hazy again. By this point, the first floor formed a final line of defense set up by Kraus, Natsuhi, and Eva. The children and the guests, Nanjo, had been strongly warned not to go downstairs without taking great care. If the culprit used a ladder or something, it probably wouldn't be impossible for them to attack from the second floor. But it wouldn't be easy for them to break those sturdy shutters from such an insecure position. The second floor was relatively safe compared to the first. Battler and George also wanted to remain on the first floor so they could fight if the worst happened. But Ava had put a stop to that. In her mind, George was now the only member of her family. It seemed that she didn't even want to expose him to the danger of coming downstairs to the first floor. Kraus and Natsuhi could understand that feeling. Also, a great deal of time had passed since the siege began. In the second-floor cousins' room, Battler, George, and Jessica sat, dazed, and didn't even listen to the TV that had been left on. For a while, Nanjo had been with them, and he tried to lend them words of encouragement. But when he realized that he might actually be having the opposite effect, he hid himself in his own room on the same second floor. George kept looking dazedly at that photograph inserted into his notebook. It was from the time he'd taken a vacation to Okinawa with Shannon. Shannon's happy smile was contained in those photos. George could remember the temperature and the humidity, the warmth and strength of the wind. And even when he had been talking about with her at the day of the time those photos had been taken, as clearly as though it had been yesterday. So to George, they weren't simply photos, but a door to bring back warm memories. In this room, even the sounds of the typhoon and the TV should have entered George's hearing. It was the scenery of Okinawa he had seen with her, and her laughing voice had reached his eyes and his ears. George had strived to be reborn after meeting Shannon. He had sworn to separate himself from the timid person he had once been. Easily caught up in the atmosphere, unable to refuse a request, and easily used by those around him. He had resolved himself to become a strong man who could make her life even more joyous. Therefore, if he hadn't met Shannon, the man called Ashurmia George would probably have lived a very different life. And the George of that different life surely wouldn't have been as excellent a man as he is now. This is George narrating, by the way.
The person I am now exists for Shannon's sake. Now that Shannon is gone, why do I exist? It's completely meaningless, isn't it?
He felt a deep, deep sadness, as though he himself had become empty. That feeling must have been tormenting him this whole time. However, until Battler mentioned it, he hadn't been aware of the feelings himself. He'd finally managed to remember that it should have been all right for him to cry much, much more. So he cried. Just like Battler had. He cried himself dry. By now his eyes were bright red and swollen, and he couldn't cry anymore. So George did his best to change his way of thinking. He was not meaningless now.
as he should be grateful to Shannon for giving him such a character. The dead don't come back to life. He would have to get over being separated from his most beloved person. If he were to chase after Shannon and kill himself, she would surely be deeply dejected. It worked the other way around, too. If he had died and Shannon chased after him, throwing away her own life, he wouldn't have been able to forgive himself. So he chose to surpass his sadness and anger, and said to thank her instead. After meeting Shannon, she made his days rich and full, and taught him the meaning of working hard for other people's sakes. As a result, she had shaped him into the kind of person who he had wanted to be. He wanted to thank her for that. He tried to quell his sadness in this way, but each time he did, he remembered Shannon's smile. He understood it logically. He knew that grieving any more than this would only make her grieve in heaven. That didn't bring a stop to his sadness. Why is it when people die, it's so sad like this? Badler muttered. It was as though he was speaking on behalf of all humans. His question probably hadn't been directed at anyone, but Jessica answered.
It's always sad when you have to say goodbye. But when the person's old or there's some time, when you know beforehand that it's coming, sooner or later, that sadness gets spread out over a long period of time. When misfortune comes suddenly, it's sad because you don't even get that time.
I see. So if they get sick or something and end up bedridden in a hospital, maybe you'll ready yourself for a bit by bit. But when it happens suddenly someday, you don't get that luxury.
The sadness... Wait, am I sounding muffly?
A little bit.
You kind of sound like you're underwater.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's good.
Yeah, I'm going to the
It was going like in and out. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Can't believe Colin got transported to 360 era. Damn.
In another world, and I'm in an Xbox 360 party? Oh yeah, hey, fun fact. So you wanna know what the 3 top clips are now on my phone on the channel?
Xbox. I'm a Sony pony.
That's a bad trade-off from the Master Chief Collection.
That's probably because I posted that on the Reddit, the Halo Reddit.
Joshi yelling about canon. And low-hanging fruit.
Ah.
Jesus, dude!
I actually got lightheaded from doing that bit.
Wait, what's the low-hanging fruit?
Low-hanging fruit was during the fight scene.
Hey, remember those towers that came up out of the ground?
You mean the one that I blatantly made the joke over because I didn't want you guys to make the joke instead?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
I have no regrets.
I'll have to show you the clip.
The 4th one is me playing Minecraft and my friend going, "How am I gonna fit? How am I gonna get in there, bro? My cock is tiny." Anyways,
a shiny fire drill on that one as well.
Is it? Probably not. I don't think so. Chinese fire drill is a Halo one during ODST.
The sadness
Yeah, go ahead. No, go
Okay,
ahead.
do
Go
I
ahead.
still
Go
sound
ahead.
like I'm underwater?
A little
You
bit,
sound
but it's
good.
okay. You're fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Any
Yeah,
better?
I can hear you. It's all right. You're good to go. Just keep going.
Yeah, am I good now?
Yes.
Thank you, Kermit.
I'm always here to help. And I commit war crimes. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
The sadness that's usually spread out over several years closes in on you all at once. That's pretty tough. Sometimes it makes you feel like a sadness so deep, it can leave scars for life.
I was gonna do that in the Kermit voice. Scars for life, huh?
Were you about to say it in the Kermit voice?
Scars for life, huh?
You kill me!
I'm so fucking sad right now. Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Anyways, please go.
world of this playing
Yeah.
is
One second, I'm taking a quick note. Like, grandfather's occult hobby. People say that's what's caused it. That Beatrice, his mistress, died a long time ago. And he was so sad that he couldn't put himself together. Some people whispered that this is why he started sacrificing the rest of his life to occult research in order to revive the dead.
If that's true, Grandfather succeeded in this miracle in his last moments. The culprit is the revived Beatrice. And Grandfather was reunited with her at the moment he was killed. Pretty ironic that he revived her and then got killed by her.
even so. Grandfather probably managed to meet her. He gambled half of his life, and even though it was for a short time, he was reunited with the woman he wished to see once again.
Then he got totally roasted, though. Feels like that result didn't quite add up to the cost of researching for half his life.
That's not true. Even if it was only for an instant. Grandfather must have been happy to be reunited with the woman he loved. And that would be true, even if his crime of going against divine providence was punished by God. And his body was burnt and sent down to hell. Even if that reunion only lasted a very short time, right?
George Nissan.
I wouldn't have cared if I met the wrath of God and had my body burned. Even if it was just for a short amount of time, if I could revive Shannon again, I would sacrifice the rest of my life to the same research as Grandfather. I want to talk to Shannon again, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Even 1 minute would be fine. In exchange, I wouldn't mind sacrificing the rest of my life.
Are you laughing?
No. I was just trying to do the
Bruh.
sniffle thingy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you like saw
Yeah.
something
Fuck,
funny
I
while you were
guess-
saying that.
Well,
Damn.
I guess I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry. If you want, I can try giving you crying lessons later.
I could.
Anarchy. Brother Jessica realized their pointless discussion was causing George pain. They could do nothing more than shut their mouths. George directed his thoughts toward Kinzo's life. He sacrificed half of his life to research that no one understood. And on the last day of his life, he revived the person that he loved most. Probably succeeded in his reunion in his final moments. Sure didn't know how much time they had together. He didn't know if they'd be given an hour, or just 5 minutes. However, that moment must have been enough to reward him for all those months of research. Even though he spent dozens of years to achieve it, that small amount of time was probably more than worth it to him. Till today, I never believed in the occult or magic, or actually, no, I'm pretty sure that's George.
Until today, I never believed in the occult or magic or anything. Somewhere in my heart, I made fun of grandfather's research, thinking of it as nothing more than a pastime. However, I won't make fun of it anymore. No, to the contrary, I'll believe strongly that it's real. If the power of belief can create miracles, I'll probably throw away all of my studies up until today, spending the rest of my life from today onward studying magic.
No.
Give me the power of magic. And give me a miracle that'll let me see Shannon again.
I don't know what you're messing with.
Sorry, you too. What am I talking about? If we could revive the dead with magic, people would probably be researching it everywhere around the world. But things like that don't really exist in reality. No one researches it. That's because they know the dead can't be revived with magic. Sorry for saying something so weird. It's my fault the atmosphere in here has gotten so strange. Sorry for making you two tiptoe around me, even though this is tough for all of us. Even if I did do it to divert myself from my sadness, maybe I did say something strange. If I keep talking about stuff that's so weird, I'm sure it won't do anything good for their sadness. But that doesn't mean I can bear the silence. I'll go downstairs and get another cup of coffee. Mom's very particular about how she likes hers. Does anyone else want a refill?
Badler-kun and Jessica-chan lightly shook their heads. SMH their heads. Without pressing them any further. Oh, that's actually you. You're still going.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Badler-kun and Jessica-chan lightly shook their heads. Without pressing them any further, I took my mug and left the room. The shutters were all closed in the hallway, so the corridor is very dim. I tried visiting Dr. Nanjo's room and asking if he wanted more coffee. But he said he didn't need any either. It seems my mother's orthodox method of making coffee isn't universally appreciated. One time I made some for Shannon. But she told me while it was delicious, it was a little strong. Shannon. That's no good. Even though I left my room to change my mood, the image of Shannon's face filling my head hasn't faded in the slightest. If I keep seeing those fun days with her more and more vividly, And it's saddening that I never even got a chance to see her dead face. According to our parents, she was apparently killed with something like a gun or a spear. I'm sure they were just trying to console me, but they said her dead face had been very beautiful and peaceful. I wonder if she had the engagement ring that I gave her last night on her finger. If she had accepted my engagement, she should have had it on her ring finger of her left hand. Last night we were both on the edge of losing it and not calm at all. She had accepted my engagement ring pretty courageously. But she might have regretted that as a rash action once she cooled her head. She might have taken the ring off. I wonder if she has the ring on now. I want to be sure of at least that much. I want to know how she felt at the very end. But even if I do confirm that, it doesn't mean she'll come back. I wonder what will happen to her body. After the autopsy, it'll probably be immediately cremated. Then, I'll never be able to see her face, even her dead face, for all eternity. That's the shock of losing Shannon. Made me go a little crazy. I don't want her body to be burned. If she's burned and turned to ash, never again will it be possible for her to revive. They say cremation is frowned upon in Western tradition, because on the day of resurrection, there will be no body to revive. Because of that, it seems that great criminals in Western history were often cremated after execution as punishment. And their ashes were sometimes scattered in rivers and such. In other words, to Western people, death is nothing more than sleep until the resurrection. It is essential that the corpse is left after death. In other words, that's because Western people knew of a miracle that can revive the dead. But that miracle didn't exist in Japan, so we burned them. Now I understand. I understand what my grandfather idolized in the Western occult. That was his only reason from the very beginning. Just to revive the person dear to him. Grandfather spent the rest of his remaining life researching the Western occult. The situation surrounding us now is abnormal. Grandfather did revive his beloved Beatrice. And that Beatrice has carried out a terrible serial murder. With linked closed rooms that force us to conclude that magic was used. The Golden Witch, Beatrice. The incarnation of the miracle of the Western occult. And also the culprit that killed Shannon. She's an entity I should hate. And yet for some reason oh fuck.
Sorry, that's my mistake.
And yet for some reason, I want to cling to her. I wonder if Shannon could be revived with the magic of miracles, which grandfather bet his life on. According to the legend of the Ishirimiya family, grandfather met with her long ago and was given a vast quantity of gold. Then, if I also met with her, instead of gold, she would have given me Shannon's life. Would she give me Shannon's life? As collateral, I don't care what sort of devil's contract she imposed. I wouldn't mind sacrificing all of my remaining life.
George probably couldn't believe or realize that his voiceless wish was heard by the witch herself, who stood right behind him. Paige has been listening to the entire discussion between the children just now in the cousin's room. Adler had told her that she didn't know the value of a human life, and wanting to understand that in her own way, she had stealthily visited, listening in on the discussion.
That is your wish, you say? If I could grant that wish, would I be as accepted as a witch?
He looked at the palms of both of her hands. She handed over most of her once surging magical power when the new witch succeeded in the name of the Endless Witch. Of course, her current power still made her worthy of being called a witch, but it cannot begin to compare to her previous strength.
Even without endless magic, I am a great witch whose name has been pondered for 1,000 years. Reviving the dead will be no trouble at all.
Inside her head, she thought about several magical steps she could take to revive the dead. Even magic that should have been easy in the past would be difficult for her with her current power. She thought of something that clicked her, and then clicked her tongue, then did so again, over and over. And then she finally thought of a single spell. But that was a spell that she couldn't use by herself. It was a spell that witches with weak power used, one that relied on the aid of others. In the past, Beata looked down upon that type of magic. Therefore, she frantically tried to search for any conceivable alternative. But in the end, she couldn't think of one and slumped over in self-derision. Then, careful not to surprise him, she softly called out. Then, softly, to George's heart.
Ushiromiya George, can you hear my voice?
I can hear you. Who are you? Are you really that witch, Beatrice? Or are you an illusion created by my sorrow? If it's the former, please hear my wish. And if it's the latter, just leave me alone.
Their conversation in a mental world was a lot like having one in a dream. When you dream, haven't you ever had the experience of casually accepting something that would have been absurd in the real world? The conversation in this world is like that. So even though a witch appeared and started talking to George, he was not surprised.
Indeed. I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Normally, you and I would not be able to talk together in this manner. However, you are strongly conscious of and wish to have a discussion. So both of our channels are able to match like this.
I don't care if you're the same person who killed Shannon was you, or someone else using your name. As long as you exist as a real witch. I'll pay whatever cost you ask for. If you desire my life, take it right now. Please, I want you to bring Shannon back to life. If that's impossible, I'd be satisfied if you just let me talk to her for a short while. Please.
I ask for nothing in return. I shall grant that wish.
Really? Really? You'll revive Shannon?
Indeed. However, my current magical power is not sufficient to use the magic of resurrection. Therefore, I must rely on your help.
If there's anything I can do, I'll do it. Even if that means taking my heart out here and now, I will not hesitate.
I told you, I don't need anything like that. I will chant the magic. Then a gap will open in the door to the land of the dead. But as I am now, I do not have the power to bring Shannon's soul up through that gap. However, you have strong feelings for Shannon. And those feelings will surely become magic that can bring her soul out without fail. What do you say? Will you help me?
I will. If Shannon's life will be restored, then there's nothing I'm afraid to lose.
George's fists shook in silence. Then he slowly came to his senses. He had been absent-mindedly standing near the window in the hall that whole time, his mug still in his hand. And the witch from his dreams was still there.
What the? It isn't a dream?
Be quiet. I am very fragile now.
Sorry, I keep yawning.
Understandable. Wait.
If any more humans appear, I will not be able to preserve this form. I shall grant your wish, so stay silent for now. Understand?
George covered his mouth with both hands, nodding enthusiastically several times. In that instant, he almost dropped the mug he was holding. George frantically juggled it around and caught it. His grommet mug, because afraid of that if it fell to the floor and made a loud sound, the witch's form might disappear like a bubble popping. He softly set the mug on the floor, and stared at the witch in front of him again. Her form didn't disappear. It wasn't a dream.
Come. Let us go to the parlor where Shannon sleeps. With the power of your feelings, we will bring back her soul.
You say go, but how? My mother and the rest are downstairs. There's no way they'd let us go outside. And Didn't you just say you wouldn't be able to preserve your form if another human appeared?
Come to think of it, that is true. So, Kraus and the rest are downstairs. In that case, we definitely cannot go down. Well, then we just need to go to the mansion without going.
Sorry, I'm getting the sleepies.
We're almost done, don't worry. This chapter's almost through.
We just need to go to the mansion without going down to the first floor, right? It's simple.
Beata laughed as though she had thought of a pleasant prank. And with her golden pipe, she'd lightly tapped a window with its shutter closed. When she did, 3 gold butterflies appeared from the pipe and opened the lock on the window as though melting it. And the window opened without a sound. The shutter beyond it was exactly the same. The clasp unset itself, and also without making a sound, and it quietly opened. The window opened, exposing the wind and rain outside the mansion. That's because of the direction or something related to the construction of the building, the wind did not blow inside. Because of that, for a while, it felt as though the entrance that opened to the outside was a dream or an illusion, and they couldn't accept it as real.
Sorry.
It's fine. We are very close to being done, but if you want to stop right now, we can.
I want to keep going.
Okay, let's keep going then.
Come, let us go. Come with me.
Oh.
That's a new one.
Beato gently floated upwards, as a natural action like that of a diver enjoying an underwater stroll. Made it easy to believe that if you acted like she did, you too might be able to float in the sky just as though you were swimming through the water. No, George did believe that. So without thinking, just as she had done, he also, gently, as though swimming in water, lifted his feet. Whoop!
Not bad. So, you learned how to dance the sky faster than I could explain it.
George was shocked to find himself floating in midair like he was swimming. Of course, Beato was also shocked that George, who shouldn't have been able to use magic, had figured out how to do that just by instinct.
To be able to fly in air, to swim in air.
This is like the when kids movies have that whoa mint in it where they're going like whoa whoa.
You mustn't be bound by reason. Accept it as a natural thing. You mustn't fall back to human doctrines such as those of Newton and Einstein. Especially when flying high in the sky. An experience which is sometimes plummets the earth.
I accept things for what they appear to be. I accept things for what they appear to be.
You just keep telling yourself that.
George repeated those words over and over. You must not deny magic, no matter what. Denying would be like throwing away what it might be. His first and last chance to revive Shannon. However, compared to Beata, who was elegantly drifting like smoke, George's movements clearly resembled someone underwater. Therefore, if he didn't act like he was kicking his feet in water every once in a while, he'd be caught by the force of gravity bit by bit.
I must say, you're doing better than when I first danced through the sky. Here we go. Come with me.
Beat her back into George, she gently flew into the stormy sky. Like a scene from a fairy tale. The scene unfolding before George's eyes felt entirely like an extension of his dream.
Being able to fly is incredible, but so is the wind and the rain.
What's this? Are the wind and rain tormenting you? I could teach you magic to block against that. But it may be too early for you, and it may be a misuse of time right now.
Yes. The magic I need isn't that.
George wore a strong-willed gaze, refusing to let the wind and rain get to him.
The mansion is coming into sight. Hold out just a little longer. If you fall now, you'll hit the bushes in the rose garden.
The undulating rose garden was spread beneath the witch and George's gazes. The illusion-like scene no longer surprised George. Only the gradually approaching mansion was reflected in his eyes.
Shannon, wait for me. I will definitely revive you.
Dun 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 dun. Butterfly in the sky. At that time, the cruel new witch could be seen staring at the guest house from a different location.
Now, all that's left is the 7th and 8th twilights. Just 2 more and my obligation to that old hag predecessor is finished. I'll kill Kraus and Natsuki. Let them die together like the good couple they are.
What's the target, Nia?
In the lobby, the first floor of the guest house, 2 targets in Shiromiya Ava identified. Measuring anti-magic power levels. Data linked to 410.
410 data received. Anti-magic power levels are extremely low. If Ava just goes outside, they're tuna and abalone on a chopping board.
What do you think, Great Lady Beatrice?
Don't call her that.
When you give the order, we shall snipe right away. Please, your orders.
You guys really are convenient furniture. Not at all like that old second-hand furniture that's only useful for gouging corpses. Right. I'm sorry, you're standing right there. I'm sorry, bitch, you're standing right there. Yes, sisters, please show me your skill once more. Prepare to fire. And carry out the corpses again. Got it? 'Cause I'll play with them a lot. No complaints from you, right, Ronove?
Oh fuck, hold on.
That's
Correct.
a command.
As you command.
At the moment, the witch noticed something. It was as though some presence had disappeared. Was it her imagination?
Was that someone's presence just now, or was the narrator being a complete dick? Did anyone feel it?
My apologies, I haven't noticed anything, so please forgive me.
We're in the middle of observing the guest house, Nia, so our peripheral surveillance was set off, Nia. What about you, Lucifer-chan? Did you feel any presence?
Yeah.
For just an instant, Lucifer glanced at Ronove, asking whether she should answer honestly or not. Ronove gave a small nod in response.
No. May apologies, Beatrice Summer. We noticed nothing. Forgive us the stupidity of us second-hand furniture.
You said it, not me. I see. If a great demon like you says that, then it must have been my imagination.
Which persistently stared in the direction the presence had disappeared to.
I'm second rate, you listen to, bitch.
That was where the rose garden lay. And beyond that, she could see the mansion's dark silhouette created by lightning. It took quite some time before she pushed her unsatisfied feelings aside, and once again faced the guest house. And
Thank
the die.
Christ the chapter break!
Break! So we will be picking this up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
For now.
Next day, yeah.
Huzzah!
Tomorrow we'll be having off, but for right now, if you guys would like to, there is the discussion section that is available.
No, I do think this discussion might to go a little bit longer because there's a previous discussion and
That we
the
missed.
shit that happened today.
Okay.
So we might need a little bit longer than 15 minutes, I would say.
Well, you know, it depends on people's thoughts.
I have thoughts.
I'm sure you do.
Alright, well, I would say let's give him like at first 25 minutes, and if that doesn't seem like enough, or slash if it's, too long, we can always just cut it off when people are done saying what they need to say.
Okay,
Or
that's fair enough.
We can extend it a bit.
Let's just get to it.
We know you cheer every time Chester 410 appears as...
I mean, so do I.
I hear thunder. Yeah, Chest is great.
She's really good at her job.
Yeah.
So that's 45. I don't see people are neglecting Chester 45.
45 is okay, but...
It's the same reason
Because
her hair's
anime
pink.
reboot. Her hair is blue because anime.
Yeah.
Her
And
hair is
possibly
blue.
Toho.
Didn't you say her hair was green?
Yeah. Yeah, he said
When did the bunny girls show up? Because I think I missed that.
That was last session.
Yeah,
You
that
were
was,
here.
that was last session. Bunny girls are still in the picture.
I think you dipped out like right when that happened because we went a little bit long last time.
Yeah, might have.
Yeah, you kind of dipped.
Should we
Understandable, though.
be honest? I don't think should we tell them?
Tell them what?
What? Tell them what?
What I asked Zaz in the fucking Fight Club.
No. No.
I mean, like.
Know that.
Oh
no. Okay, you know what?
Oh, they don't need to know.
They don't
I'm not talking about the thing I posted. I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, the question you asked me. No, I don't think they need to know that.
You don't think they need to know that? All right.
No, no way.
Know what?
Well, apparently we don't need to know.
All right.
Oh, don't worry about it. You
There's
don't need
certain
to know about
information
it.
that you don't need to know.
Well, damn it, if I don't need to know it and you know I don't need to know it, then I want to know it, so I need it, you know?
Well, too bad.
You will know it later, but not
Okay.
now.
You'll reach the answer to this when we get there.
The answer lies in the heart of battle.
I wonder if you guys probably misthink.
I don't know.
Anyway, thoughts. Let's get it over with. Umineko.
One moment as I go ahead and go back over from the notes from last time that we didn't get
Oh, are
to.
we actually doing like last session thing?
I figure we could go ahead and combine those two the same as last time. And I think it's also very point-blank affirmation here. This chapter is definitely one of Beatrice being torn down herself in favor of the new one, as I thought. Totally coming in and just making her realize the error of her own ways. Because let's face it, Beatrice is a fucking bitch.
I think a better
Yes.
word is monster.
That's the idea. It's just so. Beatrice does it's just so vulgar that she realized that there's nothing elegant about murdering people and stuffing their stomachs with candy or whatever.
Fair point.
It's the fun that can only be found through being cruel as fuck. And I think Hideyoshi actually brought it up best in this current chapter.
Mm-hmm.
That being, this is the part of Ava that was a child. That means this Ava hasn't matured the same way that the adult Ava has. This is every sick tendency as child Ava ever had.
Yeah, there's some things that certain children we grow out of, hopefully.
But seriously, clipping insect wings? Fucking warning signs.
Yes, that is technically
Hideyoshi
warning signs.
passed it off as like no big deal, but jeez,
Some
dude.
kids are cruel to bugs.
I mean, to be fair, he did say, yeah, I learned to grow out of that and learned that that shit was fucked.
Like, children don't have that much of a sense of morality that they realize that killing bugs is fucked. Well, killing bugs to an extent is fucked up.
Some do.
Torturing bugs.
some don't.
There's
And
this
in this
time
case-
that elder brother just like a magnifying glass on some ants, and I was fucking horrified. Like I ran the fuck away from him at that time.
That one's also a common occurrence that happened. And if you'll recall, one of the things that Beatrice actually said beforehand when she was tossing Rosa around and turned her into a butterfly was that they used to throw small insects into spider webs as kids.
No, they were
Which in
throwing rocks
itself-
at
Yeah, that's
spider
some
webs.
form of symbolism.
Correction, Con. They were throwing rocks at spider webs.
No, they said they were throwing insects into the webs and just seeing if they could get caught at spiders.
Yeah, I think it was insects, actually.
Yeah, it was insects.
And I know, because I wrote it down in my notes.
Anything else?
Get dunked on, Roboot. Sorry, I had to make that joke.
I also
what
have
joke?
to go ahead and say, fucking Kyrie out in this bitch being... Can we just go ahead and say Rudolph fucked 2 chicks and got both of them pregnant?
Yep, and one of them had a miscarriage and basically resented the other child for living for the longest time. And guess who that child was? Badler.
Yeah, but... Ouch, though?
Yeah, I know, that is cruel, but understandably, understandable in the context of her mental mind space. Why my child died, but hers still lives? Not great, but kind of understandable.
It's
Oh, I kind of gravitated towards Kyrie because she seemed like one of the people who was like calm and cool and stuff. And then guess what? She's a yandere.
Not yandere.
I mean, not a yandere in the way that she'll murder people, but she's still got
say-
the obsession.
I wouldn't
She's
say-
like,
I wouldn't say this is yandere. This is basically someone else ended up snatching her man before her. And she resented that to the very point where even after she died, she couldn't stand to be around Battler. But she does do her best to try and get along with him. This is actually adding a different layer to her character, because underneath the common collected Kyrie is also one full of spite and envy.
And apparently she loves Rudolph, even though he's that type of a player.
Hey, love is blind.
Yeah.
And in this case, love
He's
is
a charming man. Have you heard his accent?
Apparently
You know what they say, love is blind.
Tommy Wiseau.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, hi, Rudolph.
We can also go ahead and say that Kyrie has definitely made her own job and her own personality cold and calculated. This means I was actually right whenever I said there were hidden depths to Kyrie. Although I didn't exactly expect it to get this far.
Also, her emptiness is probably why she still stays around to this point even further.
Well, that and she and Rudolph also have Angie.
Apparently so, that we never heard of until that point.
No, it was
Yes, we
mentioned at the
have,
beginning.
Crimson.
She was mentioned at the beginning, dude.
Several
Oh,
times,
really?
actually.
Yes.
How come we never met her then?
Maybe we'll meet her in a following chapter. I don't know. I haven't read this. But other people in here have!
It's a good story.
It's a good story.
Word. Something I also found interesting. Guns are considerably anti-magic? Or at least magic resistant.
Yeah.
Well, at least those ones are.
Well, that would also probably just go for
Well, they
any
just say
gun, but I
guns in
interpret it.
general.
guns in general. Guns, and what I have in my notes here, guns are enemies of witches and demons.
Yeah, they just straight up. They said that guns are anti-magic, like just broad stroke gun.
Yep, straight up
that
said
makes sense.
Any
It's like a killing spell. Like you pull a trigger and someone's gushing blood. It might as well be a death spell.
So basically, what you're saying, if I pull up to fucking Rokenjima right now with a Glock.
Well, you saw what happens whenever you take a gun to a witch, right? It's like you gotta fight the demons. It's like
they can do their best. They can do their best to evade and maneuver, but if they do get hit with the bullet, then it's game over.
Ironically, Doom Guy is the most anti-witch ever, apparently.
Yeah, that we can also go
How is that
ahead and just say
ironic?
without any bargaining, because Jesus Christ.
Oh, in the first chapter, when who was it, Natsuhi? She was the one who faced off on Beatrice with the gun. He just dodged it and reflected it.
Probably because her powers were getting more greater at that point.
yeah, she might have reflected it, maybe, or if you want to go.
I mean,
with the
that wasn't a
non-magic
question. It wasn't a question. I was more just confirming that.
I mean, we don't know.
Speaking of, we may need to go ahead and reaffirm of how powerful Beatrice is compared to Beatrice. She actually summoned furniture from a different level of any other point that Beatrice could never reach. At least that Beto couldn't reach.
They are technically guns, in the sense of how they use their powers.
So what exactly does Beatrice have that Beatrice doesn't? Lack of restraint?
Probably.
Hmm.
No, it's sort of like someone who just got, a psychopath who just got into killing, rather than someone who's been doing it for, a while. As much as that sounds messed up.
I don't think that's exactly what I'm going for. I'm talking about in terms of magical ability and potential. If the Seven Sisters of Purgatory are cheap knockoffs of the Chester sister, and Beatrice was the first one to go ahead and summon them directly, whereas Beatrice couldn't, then what does this mean for her abilities compared to Beto?
Wait, what do you mean by cheap knockoffs? You just mean they're just shitty, but you don't literally mean they're part of the Chesters, right?
If you'll remember, back when the Chester sisters were introduced, which I should have notes of right down here. Beady. Going through my notes. Should have it right here. They're more calculating, they're smarter, they're actually more intelligent. And they're far more accurate than the Seven Stakes of Purgatory.
Okay, so you just meant in function.
Say what?
Well, you said cheap knockoffs of them, and I wasn't sure if you meant they were made from them, they were a piece of them was taken apart of them, or do you just meant in their use?
Their use? What?
Their function, what they are used for.
I'm talking about their functionality.
Yeah, that answered the question. You did it. Keep going.
Also, I had another question. Are these two in any chance also Toho references?
I think we said. I think that the Chesters are actually a possible reference to an idol group concert.
It's a reference to idol costumes. That's it.
Yeah,
as
around
soon
the
as I
80s when it got popular, when idols
Because I kind of
became
had
popular.
enough Toho in this game for one lifetime, thank you.
As soon as I saw the word Chester, I thought of Winchester, like the rifle.
Yeah, like the 40. Those are all gun reference.
I think they were talking about the outfit.
No,
I just thought that! Like a Winchester 45.
The names have the. Don't really have that.
I feel
But...
like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, they're named after guns.
We need to keep up, guys.
Notice that.
Okay. Shh. I'll clear it up. We were talking about what they were wearing. It's reference to.
That's what I was
idols.
asking.
That was it. Just what they're wearing.
Because I specifically remember there is one rabbit-eared girl in Toho.
Several.
How much time on the clock do we have?
I haven't really been keeping track. I think it's been like...
How many minutes, Iva?
I think it's been like 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what the fuck did Joshi say?
I just said the costumes are a reference to idols. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about.
You can also... Disregard what Joshi said. What you guys were talking about was very interesting too. It was also very important, I would say.
You didn't
Wait
say
a minute,
anything.
You mean there's more Toho reference in here?
No, the stuff about you guys comparing the names to the Winchesters.
Yeah, the rifle, that's what they're named after. Like a 410 is actually a type of rifle.
All Joshi said was that they were related to idols.
So it's quite literally just their names are references to rifles?
Yeah, 45 is a type of Magnum.
Damn, no wonder. Magnums are actually one of the more powerful guns out there.
Yep.
Yeah, wait.
That would explain why they're actually a lot more succinct in their approach and smarter in their use.
Mm-hmm. One's basically a sniper, and the other one's a lookout.
Spotter.
Yeah, technically.
We already mentioned this before.
That explains everything, actually. That's actually kind of clever. But I do have to ask, why the bunny ears?
Because it's hot.
Because why not?
Yeah, it's fair. We've already got goat men, and we've already got 6 hot sisters who are all bitches.
It's the same reason that the 7 sisters are all wearing Angel Ward outfits.
Yeah, we've also got a demon butler who's clearly playing for 2 different sides.
Alright, well, let's keep on going.
Alrighty.
Oh, am I leaking noise, or is it good?
You're good. I also find it interesting that Kyrie actually has the same kind of wavelength where she can go ahead and sense magic. That's just... I know she's not related to the Yoshiro Miyas in any way aside from being related through marriage, but that is actually fairly interesting, because that means she and Natsuki also share a lot more in common. Now, let's see here.
Wait, why not to?
Because she and Kyrie were also married into top members of the family, and they both happen to have some sort of connection to the supernatural.
How does Natsui?
Remember? She was raised with the Shinto, and she had the little pocket mirror.
Oh yeah, the stone mirror thing that most Shinto priests have.
Not that, the pocket mirror.
Mm-hmm.
In
the one that George and Shannon were trying to get in the last episode.
One. Not the stone one. The stone one is the one that was broken by Shannon in part 2.
Yeah, I was still saying the same thing.
No, you weren't.
No, you
weren't.
Yeah, well, let's go.
I was also going to say, it's pretty interesting and really heartbreaking that Hideyoshi was trying to actually slap some sense into a childish sense of Eva.
Mm-hmm.
And that she actually killed him, not out of mercy, but mostly out of frustration. This is still a part of Eva, the child part of her that rejects everything in the adult world. She still does have some semblance of care for Hideyoshi even as a child in this form, but at this point, past the point of no return. She's killed the one thing that could have kept her sane, and now there's no turning back. Also, Hideyoshi is a straight-up baller. Dude's officially stuck in the top 5 of my favorite characters in this. Dude goes up to a full-blown witch, slaps her across the face, and calls her a fool for not having the acceptance of life. Goddamn.
You fool.
Somebody please agree with me on that. I feel like I'm just pissing in
we
the wind.
all agree with you.
Yeah, that was actually just gotta stop being foolish.
I kind of turned around on him after this one. I'm like, he seemed like...
Why did you feel against him in the first place?
He just seemed kind of out of touch, like... Not a active misogynist, but he seemed like someone...
What?
What?
Are we doing the same guy?
Kraus!
That was Kraus.
Kraus is the misogynist. Hideyoshi...
Hey, am I getting these people mixed up?
Kraus is a blonde brother.
I'm not talking about him, but I think I somehow combined the characters and their personalities together.
What about Hideyoshi? Has been nothing but a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
You're
been
totally right about that. It's just the fucking Nappa voice that makes me feel like he's a bad dude.
He is not a Tepe. He is not a fat evil.
Literally,
implying
he's
Nappa is a
trying to
bad
provide for his
person?
family.
He's pretty much the fat jolly at this point. He's the fat based.
Fat
Based
good.
on what?
It's based on the hardware.
It isn't based on anything.
I'm also finding it interesting. Actually, I need to go ahead and word that differently. I'm also impressed that Beatrice has actually started to recognize that her actions prior up to this were completely fucky. In that she does have, and that she has lost any value when it comes to... Fuck, I'm tired. I'm just fishing for words in the air. This...
She gained a conscience, like Jiminy Cricket out of nowhere.
Who?
Sort of, yeah. She is beginning to understand that her use of endless magic was kind of a bad. And it's also amazing to see that Virgilia purposely stopped herself from becoming as powerful because she knew the limitations and problems that came with endless magic. Dude, Virgilia is up in my top 5 as well because god damn, she's cool.
Yeah, she definitely seems like the refined woman that most witches strive to be.
Yeah. This also sort of sounds as a mark of how ambition and striving can also go ahead and negatively affect us. Beatrice wanted to surpass her, she did, and look what it cost her.
Same thing with Ava and her goals and the
moral code and all of that. Yeah. And for Ava, it was her sense of self and possibly her life because her vitality is slowly being drained by this bitch version of herself as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to explain this to anybody else outside of not actually hearing this would be like trying to talk about Homestuck to a 5-year-old.
Or talking about Homestuck to most people.
Yeah, that's also fair.
That's true.
Although there was one line that Virgilia said and that they said that makes me a little concerned. That one said he wouldn't recognize Beatrice as his opponent anymore until she proved herself back at the end to be worthy of being a witch. But Virgilia said... Virgilia or Virgilia?
Virgilia.
Okay. She said that the game would continue on without an opponent. And Beatrice is already aware that the meta-narrative exists, but she knows it has nothing to do with her. So... we're forgetting the elephant in the room here. What about Berncastel and Lambda Delta? If the game is going on like this and the opponents aren't in the ring anymore, what could they do? This seems to set up my other theory I had prior about them possibly taking over this game and making it worse. It's clear those two still have a grudge. They could turn this game of boredom and acceptance and a possible redemption for Beato into a giant game of them appeasing their boredom and finally coming back to resolve who's the better person. Or at least, who's the better witch. Or at least they'll just go ahead and make it so that way they'll just go ahead and just fuck with people's lives over and over again.
Could be possible.
Yeah, but I feel like for that they'd need another catalyst. Like, I feel like we're just missing more pieces to the puzzle.
What do you mean by catalyst?
Like...
Like some type of event that's causing something to happen within the metaverse.
Sort of, yeah. Someone to add something else to the metaverse. Someone with a grudge. Someone else who's already got a stake in both sides. Because if Lambda Delta was the one... Because if Lambda Delta ended up choosing the other Beato... Actually, no. Fuck. Let me go ahead and try and say this nicely. I feel like there's someone we're missing here.
What do you mean? Like, why do you think there's somebody missing?
There might be another person that we don't know of that's maybe...
I'm just wondering why.
Could be. That's what we're saying.
Looking at the voice casting role, the
I
orange.
want to know why there could be.
Excuse me, what about voice casting?
I was also taking a look at that original thing that you posted all the way back up here. About which roles are from which and who goes to who.
Mm-hmm.
Or who goes to whom. There's still a number of characters we haven't met.
Yeah.
And I doubt some of these aren't exactly minor roles.
Apparently, I still have a character.
I'm still wondering what you mean by.
Show up.
I still don't know what you mean by catalyst. Like catalyst for what?
A game-changing
Wait,
event.
I'm asking Kaneko.
Okay. When I say catalyst, I mean like... something along the lines of someone who ends up getting involved that they never thought would get involved in the first place.
Okay, I don't know if that's what a catalyst means. Like a catalyst is somebody that starts something. I don't know what's being started.
Someone who has to act like a match for this powder keg.
So you just don't think it'll be Battler like later? You just think there's gonna be a new Battler or something?
No. We already have the one Battler, and we have the Battler in the metaverse.
Maybe another witch.
We've already got enough of Battler. It has to be someone else connected to this family. Possibly Ange? Angie, maybe?
Yeah, it's probably her, maybe.
Okay, I'm just... What is she supposed to do? I don't... I'm so confused.
We are yet to find out.
Okay.
I think the answers may actually lie with AC and Noir.
What?
Huh?
Like,
I mean, yes, I know the answer, but...
We aren't gonna tell you anything.
What do you
I'm
mean?
fully aware. Chelly also has something that comes up as well. It seems there's 3 other roles in this chapter that are gonna go ahead.
Don't take the roles as anything, please.
I thought that I meant that I had a role in the third part.
Sorry to cut off, but I'm pretty sure there's mistakes on there. Orange.
There might be some mistakes.
I don't think Virgilia is listed.
Is she not?
Yet.
I'm pretty sure Virgilia is not listed for Noir yet.
But I've been
You
using
didn't change
that.
it. You didn't update Noir's roles.
I've been using that roll sheet to like do stuff up too, like.
Well,
don't act that I have.
Don't.
Something.
It has mistakes on it.
That's kind of cheating as well.
It's not
It's
cheating
not
if
really
it has
cheating.
mistakes.
It's just keeping track of shit.
Let me go ahead.
Also, it's spelled with an I.
Let me go ahead and try to defend myself in this action. One sec, I have to scroll back down again. The computer's doing that weird thing again. Being kind of an asshole. What an asshole. The roles themselves that we've all been given in this are also interesting. Mostly because we're all playing the separate characters, but we're all also the pieces for this. I'm following this like a detective. Or at least like how I solve other mysteries. I use any information available to go ahead and make the clues work together to fit in my head.
Con, this is the choice of who voices who is in no way relevant to the story or the characters. Like, remove this from this section of your mind palace. It does not matter.
I would suggest using the clues that the novel gives you.
Like, I need you to know I have actively changed around people's roles several times, and there's definitely errors on this sheet. It does not matter.
Alrighty then.
I still don't know what you mean by catalyst.
I guess you'll just have to see in due time, Bone.
I mean, I can ask the person saying it.
It's still a mystery.
May I?
By
By catalyst, I mean somebody who comes around with either a grudge or some other kind of point to the island. Possibly someone else that Let me see. I don't think catalyst. I don't actually think that was the right word. I should have.
Yeah, I don't think you're using the right word here.
What would it be then?
Like a catalyst is a person or thing that precipitates an event, but that means like that's the person that started the thing. Like I don't. And so what thing are you suggesting that's being started?
I guess. What am I trying to say? Okay, got it. What I'm trying to say is, we're already seeing the major discourse here. Beato is already off the table as an opponent, and Battler refuses to see her as his opponent, correct?
Yeah.
So... Damn it, I had it and I lost it. Come back to...
Well, huh? Well, so what's up, huh?
Anyone else have any other thoughts?
I had some stuff I wrote down. Give me a second. Let me scroll up. Sorry, you gotta do some scrolling. Wait, I think I scrolled up too high. Sorry for this.
It's the only downside of doing this through a Discord chat. You have to scroll up impossibly high to get everything.
Okay, so I wrote down something. There was something in the last chapter that suggested that Beatrice can determine the sacrifices. I thought that was done by a roulette. I thought that was random. Not sure if that matters at all.
Beatrice was doing it from random because that's what she was doing. Normal Beatrice.
Okay, so it could have been a choice all along. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
like she's saying like, okay, you're gonna be the next sacrifice. While Beatrice like, yeah, roll it on the roulette. Oh, well, I guess there's no thoughts on that.
Even the previous stories, Beatrice was going to take Shannon off of her who to kill list at a certain point, but after she got betrayed by her, yeah, that was sort of her decision by randomness.
God damn, I am trying to find something I said in the notes, and I cannot find it. Okay, here we go. Unless I'm missing something, it seems like we have two Beatrice backstories. One where she was trapped on the island, and the other is where she came to the island. Am I correct? Like, she came to the island, or she said that she came to the island or something, and then got trapped there?
Yeah, by,
It's just basically the same backstory. She came to the island, she got trapped there, and then she was in the human body, and then she died from the human body, and then she became trapped on the island as spiritually.
Oh, alright, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one giant kind of chain of events. That
Also,
makes up an entire backstory.
Also, apparently, the island's also a mecca for spiritual energy, since the world's kind of forgetting the concept of magic.
Yep.
Is it a mecha? I thought that's
what a mecha means.
I know what a mecha means. I was like, wait, was it a meeting place for a bunch of witches? I know that there was like Burn Castle and Land of the Delta, but like they showed up later because of Beatrice.
It's been said in earlier chapters, this place is covered in spirits, both evil and bad.
Alright.
And that's why the shrine was built there with the mirror.
I think I forgot, yeah.
That was explained because of the whole world forgetting about magic and...
Yeah, I remember that part.
Magic.
Anything else? We done?
Are we done?
I also have to wonder, why would Ronove and Lucifer lie to Beatrice? And I really am getting... It really feels weird to call her Beatrice. Won't lie.
Call her Beatrice.
No.
No.
I might start calling her that.
Just call her Blava.
No, that's
Beavis.
You get used to Beatrice. At least saying it, because I know I got used
Beatrice.
Why
No.
Beatrice?
Because now I'm gonna imagine a beaver every time, and it's just gonna be wearing this stupid little hat. Imagine a bee
Also,
dude trying to
there's another term for the word beaver.
Yeah,
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, little bee doof boy wearing the costume of Beatrice.
Yeah, for that.
Damn it, I want to draw that now. I hate giving myself ideas.
Yeah, give it a hat.
Damn it. Still, bottom
Any other
line,
ideas?
why did they go ahead and lie to Beatrice about this?
Did they?
They lied and said that they didn't sense his presence.
Wait, whose presence?
Probably
George's.
George and Beatrice's.
George's and Beatos.
Oh, did they lie about that? I must have missed
Yes.
that.
You didn't notice that?
I mean, Robert, again, the brain
right.
stops recording things at sometimes.
Fuck right, sorry.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
Beatrice was about to send the Chiester sisters to kill Kraus and Natsuhi, but she sensed George and Beato, but they lied and they said they didn't sense anything. Why exactly do you guys think that they lied about this?
I think it's because they don't like her.
Gee, wonder what gave that away.
Shit.
But yeah, it's pretty obvious they don't like her. It could also be that they think that George could help out with something involving, or at least defeating her?
Or ulterior motives.
Or they could just have a negative reaction to a young Ava. Actually, yeah, what would young Avatrice actually think if she saw George with magical ability?
Probably, damn, that looks like a threat.
Kill him on the spot.
I feel like that would be a little more difficult considering that she killed Hideyoshi without problem. Or at least was majorly confused when it came to Hideyoshi. Maybe Avatrice could also have some sort of deeper connection to George, on the same level as Ava. And maybe it could turn into some sort of battle between an older and younger version of her. That would actually be interesting to see.
Anything else?
I'm also positive that this is not going to go ahead and further Beatrice further with Battler. This is not going to be the quote-unquote instant redemption she thinks it may be.
You think it's gonna
obvious, right?
You think it's gonna backfire on her somehow?
I don't think it's gonna backfire, but it might not be what she wanted. It might take longer than she expected.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Like, I did the good, why don't you accept me?
I brought this person back to life and helped your cousin actually fuck her. Where's my golden reward, eh? Okay, Zaz, that was a very well-timed Maximilian dude emote there. But yeah, that's all I've got this time around.
Alright, I guess we're done.
Alright, I guess we're done.
Alright. Other than that, everything else has just been pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Alright, I guess we're done.
Would the inner circle like to discuss?
Oh, we super are.
Okay, so are you? I guess you're not going to be playing the video.
Oh,
game
I started
tonight,
playing Deathloop like 30 minutes ago.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been playing already. I could just tell.
Well,
He was already looping.
thank you all for watching. If the stream's still going on,
It still is, don't worry.
check us out.
I thought it was
Check us out
pronounced
on our stuff.
Lupin.
I
Yeah.
have a Twitch channel myself, and I'm doing shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, check that out.
Check us out, like, comment, subscribe.
Sorry,
Also,
but
hey,
Hit that bell.
Also, sorry for using the voice roles as sort of an indicator there. I just remembered that there were extra characters that hadn't been introduced yet, and I figured maybe they could go ahead and help answer some of the questions I had.
I would recommend...
I'm sorry if that came out a bit wrong.
I just did it to be fun, like, just because you guys all kind of knew going into this there was gonna be way more than like just what you guys saw. Like, come on.
John, I would recommend using the information that you are given by the novel instead of exterior forces.
Yeah. The most it is I like 80% of the reason I made it is, hey, what if someone forgets what steak they're voicing?
That's also fair.
Alright.
You did also go to the trouble of color coding it, which is actually fairly easy to go ahead and do it. Kudos on that one for color coding it.
Yeah, I've had to change it several times because I forget when characters show up. Alright. Okay, we're done. Good night, everyone. Also, by the way, if you sub now, you'll get a funny emote of Smug Battler in the in square format.
Hubler.
And the more people sub, the more emotes we get. So get on that.
Help me establish a Catboy harem.
What?
Yeah, it's right. Remember, if we get to 100 followers, we're going to be doing the fucking Catboy VN.
No, I don't want to be in a Catboy VN. No.
Too bad.
Unfortunately, you are.
Shut up, you are. Now shut up and put the ears on.
AC, put on. Can you give me one more long no? Like, just hold it for a little bit.
No.